Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Dela TV. We are live on Facebook and also on YouTube. This is our continuous coverage of the 11th General Assembly of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, happening here in the northern regional capital of Ghana, Tamale. And currently, we are at the Kuku congregation of the church, where members are just returning from their lunch break. We brought to you this morning the tree planting exercise that happened right outside the premises of the chapel, but still in the yard of the congregation, where a few members of the church, both in and outside the country, planted trees on behalf of all of us here at the General Assembly. We also afterwards had the financials read to us by the Director of Finance of the church, Reverend Daniel Tovino. We are returning now into the chapel, and we have, like I said earlier in the morning, the major highlight of today's meeting would be the election of the new President Executive for the church, that is the EP Church Ghana. I've been your host, and I'll be here up until tomorrow when the program is brought to a close, the Reverend DNA Afram. Now, I have with me in the studios a very learned gentleman to have a short conversation with him. He is the Reverend Professor Frederick Mausi Amevenku. 1st of August 2024, he took over as the new president for the Trinity Theological Seminary. Again, he is also the president for the Pastors Association of Ghana, EP Pastors Association. He is here for us to have a short conversation on ministerial formation as far as the Trinity Theological Seminary is concerned. Prof, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Let me first of all congratulate you on your election as the president of the seminary.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, right. So far, how far? Just a month plus or so? Oh, no, it's still this month, so you are less
It's
than a
still
month
this
old,
month.
So far, how far?
Well, by the grace of God, I'm slowly warming up into the new position, and the month has been characterized with a lot of meetings. Particularly, August 10 happens to be General Assembly, Synod, and Conference years of our various churches, the sponsoring churches. So I've had to attend many of those conferences, even if not all. So we are in the process.
All right,
Yes.
all right. And how are our seminarians doing on campus?
Currently, seminarians are not on campus. Those available are the evening school students who still have some outstanding courses to complete. But the core of our students who are the main seminarians, those are referred to as regular students. They are on holidays, but we hope to receive them in the first week of September. They will start reporting from the 5th of September.
All right, sir. Also, most of our or some of our members that I talk to are interested in becoming pastors of the church. But the only challenge they always tell me when they meet me is that, also, I'm not qualified to come. I have only SSC. Is there any hope for this group of our congregants or members?
Well, there is. In the seminary, we have a program known as the Certificate in Ministry, which is available to anybody who is capable of reading and writing. So if they want to start studying in the seminary while they don't even have their full qualifications, that's a possible starting point. But apart from that, just as it is done in other universities, we do have the option for mature students. So somebody who doesn't have a qualification from the senior high or SSC can still apply to write the entrance exam as a matured student and be able to enter the Bachelor of Theology program at level 100. So they have the chance. All they need to do is to be up and doing and prepare accordingly for the mature student exam, if that is the route they would like to pursue.
So is that to say, so when I have SSC, I come to do the certificate, would I have to finish that and apply to the church before I enter now as a church-sponsored candidate? Is that how it should work?
Well, yes, there are two things happening at the same time. Because you are going to be trained as a minister for a church, you have to be able to satisfy the requirements of the church. But at the same time, the seminary is independent of the church, and the seminary is regulated by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. So you must also satisfy the requirements of the institution. Those two things must run together for you to be able to fit into the system.
Okay, so there's still hope for this category of members who still want to come. And so,
Absolutely, yes.
what is your view on time was where leadership of the church would want to force anyone who wants to become a minister to go into full-time ministry? Is this something you would support any day?
I wouldn't say they were forcing them. In my own experience and from what I've observed, I think the idea was to encourage people to consider going into full-time ministry. There are some roles in the church that you require full attention to be able to take. But then we also find that there's a place for others who are not able to offer their full-time service to the church. They could be teachers who want to go into chaplaincy, or other workers who want to embark upon tent ministry. Currently, the church encourages people to take those opportunities and be able to contribute their own quota to the development of the church.
Our viewers heard on Thursday during the official opening of the General Assembly. The moderator in his address said a lot of things that some would want to consider as debatable. And I know it's been discussed here. One of the things is anyone who independently self sponsors himself or herself for ministerial courses would not be accepted as qualified for commission unless they go through the process with the congregation, parishes, districts, and the rest, and unless they have experienced the regime of prescribed practical ministerial formation that denominationally sponsored candidates get through. I want to ask, does that also include people who are from the EP church, sponsor themselves, and at the end of the day, they want to go through all the things while they are still sponsoring themselves? Would they also be included in this category?
Yes, I think the decision includes those who are members of the church who would like to become ministers of the church. They are required to follow the procedure that the church has put in place because there's a sense in which we can compare the work of the church to that of, say, a military establishment. There's no way you are going to be able to train, for example, as a private soldier. You go and train yourself privately, and then you come and tell the military high command to accept you to become a regular soldier, one of belonging to one of their battalions. They will certainly not accept it because there are clear training regimes that you have to conform to before you are able to come in.
Okay. I am looking at this scenario. I know there's a cap, a limit to the as to the number of students that any sponsoring church could bring in a certain year. So supposing the EP church is expected to bring 10 people or 10 candidates in a certain year, and they get the number which is 10. And there's this other person who could have been a student, but because of the cap was not able to get in. So he comes in as a self-sponsored candidate and does everything with those who are already in the system. Would they be accepted?
There is an arrangement by the seminary for sponsoring churches who want to go beyond their allocated quota. So the important thing is if the given church, here we are talking about the EP church, if we have met our quota and we still have candidates who are desirous of coming and the church is willing to support them, they can be added. Just that the church will have to pay something extra.
Okay.
And if the candidate is willing to self-sponsor himself or herself, then apparently the additional money that will be required of the church, they can provide through their self-sponsorship. But then it is always important for people to go through the guidelines and the procedures, the processes that the institution, the church has outlined, because at the end of the day, it is the church that is going to commission and subsequently ordain you. So you must fit into this program.
All right. Thank you. You are still on Devla TV. We are on Facebook and also on YouTube. Share the link with other people so they benefit from this intriguing and very important discussions. Also, you are also the president of the EP Pastors Association. Time was where after the seminary, if you are not commissioned, if you are not married, for instance, you will not be commissioned. I don't think that is the case today.
No,
Do
it's
you
not.
think we should go back to what it was?
Well, I have not even considered that, I mean, the possibility of reviving that debate because I do not think there's a strong basis for it.
Okay.
Because if you study the scriptures carefully, the idea of getting married is only implied. But there are many ministers whose stories are recorded in the New Testament in particular,
Okay.
such as Paul and others, who were never married and were not on the basis of that disqualified from becoming ministers. So I think the current position of the church is fair, but then people must be helped to rise up to the moral standard required so that if you have to enter ministry as an unmarried person, you must know the challenges associated with it and be able to hold yourself up to the highest standard in order not to bring the work of the church into disrepute.
Okay, thank you very much. When you are talking to your lecturer and a theologian, you should be careful the choice of words you use. I want to ask this one. When you come up here, for instance, the Upper Northern Presbytery, we are told a minister in a district, one minister, sometimes is in charge of about 14, 20 congregations. What do you say about the training of evangelists for our church?
You know, institutions have their vision and their mission, and they prepare different. In the case of Trinity Theological Seminary, we train men and women for Christian ministry of diverse forms. We do not have a specific program that trains evangelists alone, but we do have a number of courses in a category that I will broadly refer to as historical theology, which includes mission and evangelization, discipleship, church growth, and other areas. We do offer courses in those areas. So then, if a church is bringing candidates that it is determined to commission or consecrate as evangelists, those who have to be advised when they have opportunity to select their free electives to focus on those courses that are related to being an evangelist. In any case, a minister is also an evangelist. Just that you are going to be given the primary responsibility of pastoring an already gathered congregation, or sometimes you start it yourself and then you pastor it. So it should be possible for people who are trained in the seminary to be consecrated, especially as evangelists.
What then would be your advice to the EP church specifically in this regard?
I know that the EP Theological Seminary at Peki is already taking steps to intensify the training of evangelists. And they are following a model similar to what I've just described. The church has bought into that arrangement. So currently, the idea is to get those evangelists attached, or maybe not attached, but posted specifically to presbyteries who now have arrangements for them to be located in vantage places where they can advance the work of evangelization within the various presbyteries.
All right. Um, when I got into the seminary, one of the greatest misconceptions that I want to believe was corrected was where people always think seminary is all about Bible, Bible, Bible. When I come to Trinity, am I only coming to study the Bible?
Well, I'm happy you indicated that it was a misconception.
Yeah.
The training of a minister or a Christian, the training of people for Christian service in particular, is multifaceted. While the Bible is the basis of theology, is the basic source of theology, it is equally important for people to realize that they are going to serve in community. They are going to serve people. And so, if you are going to work among people, for example, you should know how society is ordered. You should have knowledge in sociology, for example, have knowledge in psychology. So you are going to be introduced to those. In addition to that, ministerial training is not simply an academic process. You do theological formation, intellectual, or if I can say academic formation, pastoral formation, ministerial formation. It's a holistic thing. Therefore, if you only focus on studying the Bible, memorizing it, learning how to pray, and so on, that will not be sufficient, even though that's a central part of the training regime. So you are going to be able to combine the Bible in one hand and the newspaper in the other hand. You should be able to respond to all the developments around the world. See, right now we are talking about creation care, caring for God's creation, and then we are told it's the mission of the church. While the Bible does make reference to the creation story and God's interest in his creation and so on, the Bible does not tell you exactly how you are going to be able to strategize in various generations, in various centuries, to be able to respond to the ecological crisis that you are facing. So, in studying the Bible on this topic, you have to combine it with knowledge from other sources. In any case, any knowledge at all that is available to humans is God given, it's part of God's providence. So, we combine a whole lot of subject areas to be able to become efficient and relevant ministers in the 21st century world.
All right. We are still here on the La TV, and we have in the studios the Reverend Professor Frederick Mausi Amavenku, President, Trinity Theological Seminary, and President, EP Pastors Association. I have heard this statement on a couple of platforms. The pews are getting higher than the pulpit. Do you agree?
Generally, yes. And this is not, it's not a new thing. Previously, if you get into our histories, most pastors became ministers after having acquired a diploma in theology. And then at that point, it was almost sufficient for people to be able to do ministry with a diploma. And we know about very distinguished ministers who started ministry as such. But then what happened subsequently was that it was realized that members of the church, the pews as we refer to them, began to be exposed to the explosion of information, especially with the influx of the information superhighway, the internet, and so on, so that the ministers need to constantly upgrade themselves to be able to match up with the knowledge base of their members. And that is why people have been making reference to the pews becoming higher than the pulpit. So it gives room for pastors themselves to train at higher levels, do advanced studies, and so that they will be able to minister to the needs of their members, no matter how sophisticated their backgrounds are.
Okay. All right. In that regard, somebody is watching us now wants to learn more about these things, like the Bible, like all the other things that you said, but has no interest in becoming a pastor. Does the seminary, Trinity Theological Seminary for that matter, accommodate all these people?
Absolutely. We have many programs. For example, we have a Master of Arts in Ministry program, which is an evening school program that was actually intended for the training of lay people for the church. It is not a pastor training program. It is available to anybody. It's an evening school program. You don't need to quit your job. You can take advantage of that and experience the nature of theology. Some people have come in and after completing it, decided that they wanted to do advanced theological studies. So they also explore avenues by which they can continue. But if you are not qualified for the Master of Arts in Ministry, we do have the certificate in ministry as well. And we also organize short courses in counseling, in preaching, and introduction to Bible at our centers and so on. So there is opportunity for anybody.
All right. And what are the programs that you have? You could just outline for us the programs you have at the seminary. If anyone is watching us and interested, what programs do you have in the seminary?
We currently have 8 main programs, and 6 of them have become graduate programs. One of them is not a tertiary program. That is the certificate in ministry. It is the lowest program we have. It is not a tertiary program. But we have, apart from that, we have diploma in theology. We have a bachelor of theology, which also runs as an evening school. We have the regular school version as well. Then we have the Master of Arts in Ministry, 1 year evening school program. We have Master of Divinity, which is a 3 year ministerial training program for those who hold first degrees. Then we have Master of Arts in Theological Studies. It's a 2 year program for those who already have a first degree in religion or theology. We do have as well the Master of Theology, which is the MPhil equivalent of theology, a 2 year program, high enough for those who complete it to be able to teach in the university, unless, of course, they are asked to produce a terminal program. Then we have 2 doctoral programs. The Doctor of Ministry is a part-time program, 3 to 5 years, and then we have the Doctor of Philosophy, which is a 4 to 6 year program for those who want academic degrees in the area of theology.
How affordable are these courses? Supposing I am preparing or someone is prepared to come for any of this program.
Comparatively, our programs are very affordable when you compare our programs with the programs of, let's say, the religions departments of the public universities. Our fees are way, way, way below what others charge. Our master's degree, for example, will cost just under 20,000.
Okay.
Elsewhere,
For the entire program,
for the
duration
entire
of the
program,
program.
a 2 year program.
Okay.
The certificate in ministry, for instance, is still under 3,000 cedis the last time I checked. The Master of Arts in Ministry, if I recall, and if my memory serves me right, it's in the region of 6,000 thereabout. So our programs are quite affordable.
All right. Yes. And if at the end of maybe, like you said, the PhD, I am expected to do maximum of 6 years, and at the end of the 6 years, I'm not done, what happens to me?
There's an arrangement for you to apply for extension with good reasons. If you're able to convince the PhD committee and the academic board, they might grant you extension. It has happened in some cases. Some people fall ill, they face different circumstances, and we look at it on case-by-case basis. Where the extension is required, we grant it.
Also, we have heard severally also when they said we need to send money to our students, our seminarians in the seminary, and so how bad is that situation?
The seminarians who come on the ticket of the church to come and train in the seminary usually are resident students, and they tend to quit their jobs before they come. So they come there as full-time students under the sponsorship of the church. The church pays their tuition fee on their behalf by remitting regular assessments to the seminary for its running. And then in addition to that, the church also gives them feeding allowances, in addition to a little bit of money, pocket money you might want to call it. Currently, an average seminarian receives about 48 cedis. That's for our church in particular, about 48 cedis per day, which is not sufficient, but has to be commended because the church itself is constrained by its numerous obligations. I haven't added the payment of the tuition fee that the church does on behalf of every student. So what is necessary is for society to come to the point where our members and other Christians, other members of society understand that if by God's grace you are blessed, you can take up the sponsorship of a number of these students and help them to train to serve God's church. You can even decide to bequeath your property to the church or the seminary, or dedicate it specially for the, let's say, the endowment fund that the seminary sets up, so that we can beef up the funds over there and be able to offer scholarships to those who are particularly needy and who need support of others to be able to survive.
Okay. You just mentioned scholarships. I wanted to ask if there are any scholarships the seminary has for people who may come in, are interested but cannot sponsor themselves. Is there anything like that in the seminary?
The nature of our scholarship is currently by sponsorship
Okay.
from churches.
Okay.
5 churches founded the institution: the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, the Methodist Church Ghana, Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, the Accra Diocese of the Anglican Church Ghana, and then the West African region of the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. They they all sponsor their students. Those are scholarships. If you are not members, if you are not a member of those churches and you are considering applying for a scholarship, that's when the endowment fund comes in. Currently, we don't have a surviving endowment fund. The idea has been put in place before. This is one of the things we are considering. So that if you're able to build such endowment funds, then it might be possible to offer scholarships to those who are outside the group of students that we have currently described, for them to also take advantage of it. But it will all depend on the sponsorship and support that we get from alumni, from members of the public, from philanthropists, from people who are willing to support us, especially when they realize that we are promoting a worthy cause.
All right. We are getting to the end of our conversation now, and this is the Reverend Professor Frederick Mausia Mavenko, who is with us. We are talking generally about ministerial formation, but as far as sponsoring the seminary, number one, and supporting students or seminarians for that matter is concerned, would you say the EP Church, not EP Church headquarters, quote and unquote, but individual congregations and members, do you think they are doing enough in that regard?
Well, apparently, enough is a relative word, but I will say that a number of groups, especially in our churches, have been making efforts to complement the efforts of the headquarters. Various groups like the Bible class, the church choir, men's fellowship, women's guild, CYB, sometimes even individual congregations. The Lashibi congregation, for example, has been supporting our people for some time now. There are some families. For example, there's a family in Akosobo that has been regularly supporting ministerial students. And I know of a couple who traveled abroad and said that they were willing to support female ministerial students with a modest amount every year to pay part of their residential facilities fees and so on. So there are people who are helping individuals, groups, and congregations, but we can still do more, far, far, far more than it is happening currently.
So, what in that regard, what would you want to tell our members who are watching us now? What should they be doing to help the seminary specifically? Please look into the camera and talk to them for me.
Two things. I would like to thank the EP Church for the opportunity given to me in particular to also become the president of the seminary, and to encourage our members that the nature of the seminary is such that we need regular sponsorship from our members. So members who are blessed, who are philanthropists, who have influence in big companies, from where they can facilitate the donation of their corporate social responsibility allocations to support the seminary, are all encouraged. Individuals are encouraged to also sponsor individual students or groups of students. It could be year groups, it could be any of the students under sponsorship or those who are desiring to join. We urge them and appeal to them to help us so that we can move the institution forward. For my part, as the current leader of the seminary, I'm also interested in continuing with the developmental projects that we are advancing, and I call for support in those areas as well, because this is God's work. And when we do it, we will all be blessed abundantly in God's own measure. Yes,
Thank you
you.
very much for coming, Professor. God bless you so much for passing through, and we wish you all the very best during your tenure of office as president. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God
Thank you.
bless you.
All
Thank you
right.
for the
We'll
opportunity.
take just 10 seconds break, and we'll come back to continue with our conversations. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Welcome back to Dela TV. We are live on Facebook and also on YouTube. This is our live coverage of the 11th General Assembly of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, hosted by the Upper Northern Presbytery of the Church. We are specifically at the Kukuo congregation of the EP Church Ghana here in Tamale. We've just had an interview, a short one, with the president of the Trinity Theological Seminary, the Reverend Professor Frederick Mausi Amavenku. I'm about to have another interview, this time with my own mother. She's here with us. She did a reflection yesterday. I know you already know who I'm talking about. She is the Reverend Dr. Mrs. Bridget. Yesterday I heard Ajo Ellie Benamman. I didn't know she was also Ellie. Let me, Mama, are you Ellie?
Yes, I am.
All this while I've never heard the Eli before.
Oh.
Yesterday was my first time I heard the Eli.
That's my Ebe name.
Okay, is that the Adakamenko? I hear people say I have Adakamenko.
Oh, well, that's the name that many
Okay.
members of my family
Okay.
use for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
All
would
right.
rather use Ellie than Bridget.
All
So
right.
Bridget has become like the official name.
Oh, okay. All right. I understand we need to take a short break in order to take you back to the grounds and at the General Assembly grounds. So we are having the strategic summary of all happenings here at the General Assembly. So immediately after that, we'll come back and continue with our interviews. Stay tuned, please.
Is to streamline an integrated approach in managing, designing, and constructing infrastructure facilities for the church. To fully achieve these overall objectives of the plan, some policies of the church must be reviewed and new ones must be adopted to guide the plan's implementation. Some of these are: One, that a blueprint for church planting and mission strategy for the church will be developed or created. And blueprint, secondly, for recruiting and operating tent ministry. Thirdly, policy guidelines for effective ministry operation in the church to enable effective church life and nurturing. This is what takes us through children ministry, youth ministry, and then the adult ministry, and women ministry, men ministries. So landed property acquisition policy in accordance with Chapter 8, Article 16, Clause 6, C and D of the APCG Constitution to guide the documentation process of acquired lands for the church. So with this, we have already developed a template in reporting on land management. And EPCG language policy, which will strengthen language proficiency to break the language barrier. An environmental policy that seeks to safeguard the integrity of creation and sustain the earth life by conserving and enhancing the natural and built environment, including the EPCG heritage sites. A policy that supports and encourages members and Christians in general to live and pass their properties onto the church for missionary work by way of wills. And then the policy on fundraising celebrations in the congregations by focusing on projects, welfare, church groups, and the approved church ministries. And a communication policy that will guide all the courts of the church in internal and external communications. The whole plan is estimated to cost an average of $2,100,000 yearly to implement. Beloved, or assembly, moderator, we need the cooperation of all stakeholders, the presbyteries, the districts, the congregations, to assist us as the third quarter council meeting has approved the implementation committee that is to carry out this plan. That has been done during our third quarter, that the implementation plan has been, the implementation committee has been inaugurated. We also thank the policy drafting committee for guiding us through and then leading us with an action plan on the strategic plan, as already presented to us and we have adopted or approved. Moderator, thank you for listening.
Hope you got the information clear and know what we're going to do in form of what call it, the implementation. We inaugurated the committee already, and they will carry on with their job. However, Presbyter Joy Amagbe is now a trustee of the church, and so he will be an advisor to that committee, but not counted, yes, as a committee. Yes, so he will act as an ex-officio, giving advice, and so have that in mind. He's a trustee, but then will also be supporting in terms of advice, and so bear that in mind. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank sincerely the Strategic Plan Committee for doing a yeoman's job. We must give it to them in an applause. I think. Yes, yes, yes. We just reminding me of the census that we did recently. Yeah, it's the same team that did the census for us. So the outcome of the census will be placed on the appropriate platform for you to see the details. Some of us have seen it, as well we could talk about some of the issues. So thank you all so much for allowing this. God bless us all and pave the way for us to progress steadily to the glory of God. Amen. Now, in a couple of minutes, we'll be moving from here to conclave. Before every election, General Assembly Executive Council goes into conclave to have some meeting, brief meeting. And whilst we are out there, if you are not a General Assembly Executive Council member, stay in and do prayers. Praying to commit the election, the outcome to God's hand, that God should direct us to elect the one after God's own heart. So let's do it having the EP Church in mind. And we trust that God's hand is in it. Pastor is here who is not in the General Assembly Executive Council, who is not a member. Sofo Amuzu, you will lead the prayer session. Yeah, you will lead the prayer session. So you keep praying until we return from the mountain. So we are now going up the mountain. And so keep praying under the mountain. So when we come back, then God's will be expressed through the messages committee. Are you ready? Messages. Okay. At this point, the announcement we have is that the third shade of the church cloth, we agreed time ago that after the 175th anniversary celebration, we'll take off the 175 logo in there and put in the church logo. The church logo will take that place. The shade, the design remain the same, except that you now see the church logo, the authentic logo of the church in there. All the church cloths that we have don't have the authentic logo. So we want us to know and be used to the authentic logo, which has been shown on the screen for us. That will come into the cloth. And so we will outdoor the cloth tomorrow. So just for your information, that is good you take a piece home and start appearing in that. Also, for your information and support, postings, transfers are ready. About 90% ready. So when we are done from here, we'll send it to the appropriate quarters for you to know. It is not to be discussed here one-on-one who is going here. I don't think that is the method, but we need to inform you that it's ready. So those who completed the seminary, who must be posted, who've done something on that, in conjunction with our moderators, the senior moderators. I mean, those who have also stayed in a certain station over a certain period of time, that needs to be considered for new experience. We've taken all those things into play. Now, there are 3 vacancies for synod moderators, and these vacancies will be effective from 1st January 2025, because 3 synod moderators, as was announced to us, will be exiting by 31st December this year. It means we need to get 3 in place. Now, in doing this, don't be surprised that we will do some reshuffle. We'll do some reshuffle among those who are there and then those who are coming. So don't be surprised. Every action we will be taking or we have taken is in the best interest of the EP Church first. So in some places, it will not be helpful to introduce a fresh hand by somebody who has gained some experience to be able to handle certain places. While some places too, we can tolerate a new entrant, trying to find his or her way to fit. And so when you see it, I mean, it's not for evil, but it's for good. The basic principle we are adopting is that go and grow the church. Go and grow the church. So when you refuse to go grow the church, it means you don't want to work for the church. And so we have also have discussions with certain individuals which we think that we need to do before we consider all these things. So the due diligence we need to do, we have done. I'm only speaking for the team that saw to this. I'm only speaking. I should have leave it for Clark, to do. But we are together. The standing committee, we are in it. And then the unknown transfer committee, formally, we name them for the public. And the harassment they go through, it's not a thing to write home about. So we decided not to openly say it is A, B, C, D. You may be seen as those in front, but those who are part of that team are also there. We took into consideration what we need to consider before doing that. So we pray that God's grace see us through, and may we all enjoy the experience to the glory of God.
Hello. Good afternoon once again, and welcome back to the studios. Yesterday, I told you the studios section is sponsored by Lash Obsessions, by Empress Credit Union, and one other which I'll bring to you very soon. This is our continuous coverage of the 11th General Assembly of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, here in the Upper Northern Presbytery of the Church. Before we went for that short break and went to the General Assembly grounds to take the report from the Strategic Plan Committee, we were about starting an interview with our mother, and I was about mentioning the name. She did the reflection on the General Assembly theme, Care for God's Creation, the mission of the church, yesterday here at Kuku, the EP Church congregation in Tamale. She is the Reverend Dr. Mrs. Bridget Ellie Ajo Benama. Mama, you're welcome to Dela TV.
Thank you very much.
She is the chaplain for the campus ministry in the Meridian Presbytery. She's the director of the Careers and Counseling Directorate of the University of Ghana, Legon, and also the vice president of the Bremen Mission. Mama, this is a new appointment, right?
Fairly new.
Fairly new. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Is it an appointed position or an elected position?
It's an elected position.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was nominated
Okay.
at the General Assembly
Okay.
of the Bremen Mission. And because I was nominated, I had to send my profile and my CV. And after all that, an election took place and I got elected.
Our members have heard severally. So those who brought the church is the Bremen missionary, and we have something called the Bremen mission. Some are still confused as to what it really means. Bremen mission. What does it mean? Who are they? Where are they?
Okay, so when we go a bit into church history, when it comes to the Presbyterian church or the Presbyterian tradition in Ghana in particular, you realize that we have the Evangelical Presbyterian Church and we have the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. These are the two main Presbyterian churches. So the Presbyterian Church of Ghana was established by missionaries from Switzerland, the Basel missionaries. That means that the Basel missionaries were the first to come to this area to do mission, to evangelize, and to convert people to Christianity. And the people they converted to Christianity became the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. And so later on, missionaries from Bremen, Germany, followed. But when they came, they noticed that the Basel missionaries had already established churches in the Accra, tree-speaking areas, Ga-speaking areas. And so the Bremen missionaries decided to focus on the Ewe land, which included Volta region and Togo. And that is where it started from. And so these Bremen missionaries from Germany also brought the Presbyterian faith, which is a Reformed tradition actually. So that's why when you look at PCG and EP Church, our order of service and everything, they are very similar. Our hymns are virtually the same. It's just that because of where they were established, the languages, predominantly for PCG would be Tree and Ga. Predominantly for EP Church is Ewe. So that's a bit of history about how we became Bremen Church, established by the Bremen missionaries.
All right. So these Bremen missionaries who brought the EP Church Ghana, for instance, are the same body you belong to today. Is that it?
Yes.
As vice president.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the understanding now is that we have 4 churches. There are different churches making up the Bremen missionary or Norddeutsch missionary churches in Germany. And because the EP Church in Ghana and the EP Church in Togo were established by the Bremen missionaries, these 2 sister churches also belong to the Norddeutsch mission. But some time ago, they saw the EP Church and the EP Church Togo, EP Church Ghana, EP Church Togo. They saw the 2 churches as missionary churches, like mission churches. So that meant that we were not at the same level as the other 4 churches in Germany. When the very Reverend Dr. L.K. Buama was moderator of the EP Church Ghana, at one of the General Assemblies, they decided to now consider the EP Church Ghana and the EP Church Togo on the same level as the 4 churches in Germany. And so with that coming into pass, they decided that from that time, the president of the Bremen mission will come from Germany, and the vice president of the Bremen mission will come from either EP Church Ghana or EP Church Togo. So for some years, about 10 years or so, we've had the vice president coming from Togo, and her term is over or was over. And as a result of that, towards the end of last year, I got elected to fill that position.
All right. So, Osofo, what did you do to get this global recognition? For instance, if I want to become like you when I grow up, to become president or vice president of the Bremen Mission, what should I look at doing now?
I would say all thanks to the Evangelical Presbyterian Church. And maybe even before that, all thanks to my parents who allowed me to follow them as they did their church work, and, began to know more about the EP Church. And through that, I got involved very early as a youth. I was a member of the CYB. I mean, that's how I started. I didn't have any plan in mind. Okay, so I was a member of the CYB, went to the university, became a member of FCU, and through that, through being very active, there were times when there were youth consultations, and I was involved in youth programs because of being active in the youth front. Okay. So I just got involved, got the opportunity to participate as a representative of the EP Church. I think that's how it started. And through those kind of experiences, I understood ecumenism very early. And so I call myself an ecumenist. I'm able to fit into any, exactly. And I understand this fact that all of us are Christians. By our various traditions, we find ourselves in different places, but we are all one. And so wherever I find myself, I'm very active. So being that active, any opportunity I'm given, by God's grace, I put in my best. I don't do it to be recognized, but I end up getting recognized.
All right.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
something
was
I
kind of
enjoy.
natural to have risen through the ranks to get there. So it wasn't anything particularly you did. Maybe I want to work hard as a minister. I want to show myself everywhere I go. It isn't that kind of arrangement.
I do what you are saying, but
Okay.
not with the intention
Of
of being
getting
recognized
recognized.
that
Okay.
way. But
Okay.
then in doing that,
Okay.
I end up
Okay.
being recognized.
All right. All
Okay.
right.
But with this particular position, I would say that our leadership, church leadership,
Okay.
in the board meeting, nominated
All right.
to the board.
Okay.
And then, thankfully, many members on the board already knew me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was asked to present my profile and CV. Discussions went on, elections went on, and I got elected.
Again, congratulations, Mama.
Thank you very much.
I have heard, and we always see that the Bremen Mission, when they came and they established the APJ, they used to send money to us, they give us grants, they give us that. And I even read, I think in one of the documents, that they used to give pastors shoes. Do they still do all this?
No.
Okay.
They don't do all these anymore. They
Okay.
still support.
Okay.
Some time ago, what they used to do was to just send grants for us to determine what to use the grants for. But at some point, things changed, and so and you know what is happening in Europe now? They have fewer members going to church. So it has reduced their sources of income, and so they couldn't just send us grants like that. They had to target some specific projects to support, and so the funding that we get from the Bremen Mission has reduced a great deal, and they are all designated. Whatever they send funds for are to be used for that and reported on. And yeah, so that's the situation now.
So now that you are vice president of the Bremen Mission, are we going to be getting more than we are due?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But what that does for us is our voice as EP Church Ghana and EP Church Togo actually would be heard in decision making. So as this is being vice president, it means you are part of the executive committee of the board. So they take the decisions and then bring it to the board for approval. So being there means that we have a say in what decisions they take to bring to the board. And so our voices are heard. Basically, that is what happens. And where we have projects coming from our side, we have the opportunity to put in a word to support those projects, to say yes, we need support for this, yes, we need support for that.
So these are a few of the advantages we stand to get by virtue of your position as Vice President of the Bremen Mission. Thank you very much, Mama. You're also the director for the Careers and Counseling Directorate of the University of Ghana. What do you do at the directorate? What is it all about?
Okay, so I serve as the director. Like by virtue of the name of it used to be center, it became directorate not too long ago. We handle our work in terms of career development, and then counseling, psychosocial support. So what we do is any support that is needed in the university community for staff, for students, for staff dependents, and other people in the community, we are supposed to address their psychosocial needs. So we have different offices. We have what we call satellite offices. We have the main office on campus. We have one big satellite office on campus still, but at a different place. We have a satellite office in one of the halls at Kwafu Hall. We have a satellite office at the Accra City campus. And we have a satellite office at the Kolebu campus for the College of Health Sciences. Now we have other city campuses in Takrady, in Kumasi, and the Tamale one is still opening up. And our work is supposed to be extended to all these city campuses as well. Yeah. So our offices are open for student staff, all those we work with, to come in for counseling services. However, we also are proactive, and we organize programs, webinars, seminars, different programs to inform people in our community about mental health, how to take good care of themselves, and just to inform them about their psychosocial needs that they need to be aware of. In terms of career development, we run different programs. We have what we call the career development program, which is a 10-week program with different topics, to prepare students for the world of work, to help them to brand themselves well, to help them to know how to communicate well, to inform them about how to choose their careers or make their career choices from an informed perspective, to help them to understand even their own selves through psychometric assessment, to know what their strengths are, what things they should improve upon. So we take care of all these things. The students register and then take these classes. It's like extracurricular classes they take.
Are they examinable?
Not quite, but at the end of the 10-week program, for the career development program, they go through what we call the mock interview. So they actually write application letters, because they are taught how to do that. They are taught how to prepare their CVs. And so they write application letters, and then they are selected to face a panel in the presence of the whole class. So as they go through that, we are able to identify some things they can improve upon, where they did well, and so on. So the mock interview is like the assessment. But at the end of the program, they receive a certificate which indicates what they have learned. So a top-up program for the career development is what we call the Leadership Academy. And there we take them through topics like problem solving, negotiating for change with advantage, workplace ethics, presentation skills, and things like that. And
Let me break it now into two. So I will do careers, then I'll come to the counseling aspect.
okay.
But before I even get into that, this is huge. So with all the satellite campuses and all the places you have, you are the director of all this. That is your work. You direct.
Yes,
So are
yes. But I
you
work with other counselors.
okay? Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
in our directorate, we have about 8 full-time counselors.
Okay. Full
And
time.
then
So you wake up in the morning, they get to the office, they have to be locked up. Okay.
yes, and
Okay.
then we have 2 psychiatrists
Okay.
who help us on part-time basis,
Okay,
and we
okay.
have other part-time counselors. But we also work with interns.
Okay.
These are professional trainees. I mean, counseling professional trainees, and they come to us for internship, and so we work with them as well.
All right. So all these other campuses, the ones with the Accra City, do they all have trained
Yes.
counselors at posts?
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Okay.
The only places are the ones outside
All right.
Accra. They don't have. Those are new things coming up, and so we are working towards, getting more counselors to be there on full-time basis.
Okay. You said earlier that when it comes to the counseling, the place is open where they could just walk in to seek counseling services, and also you're also proactive. You go to them. Which one is more? Do you get people just walking in? Oh, I need counseling because of so and so. Do you get that more than when you have to go after them? Which comes more?
Okay, it's a bit difficult to compare the two because where we go out, we meet them in groups.
Okay.
So definitely there will be more.
Okay.
But we have a
But
lot.
by more, I mean, well, maybe I should put it this way. Somebody is going through something. Somebody comes to tell you, as a counselor, would you have to go after that person, or you have to wait for the person to come? Maybe something like individuals. So something is happening somewhere, it's reported to you. You have to go after the person to counsel the person, or the people themselves coming in.
All right,
Which
all
one?
right,
That's
all
what I
right.
mean. Not the
Yes.
seminars and the
All
webinars.
right. Yes. So we have a lot of people who walk in by themselves. I would say that would be about maybe 60%
Okay.
of those who come in. We also have some who are referred by their academic advisors
Okay.
or their lecturers or their hall tutors. They are referred, and so through the referral they come. And then we also have the system where they can actually book for appointments online. So when they do that, they choose either to have it online or to get invited to the center, whichever office they want to go to. Yeah. So we have a lot of that. And what happens is we have peak seasons for different kinds of issues.
So maybe during exam times you have something else.
Yeah, and
Okay.
interestingly, these are young people.
Yeah.
So they have relationship issues
Yes,
and things.
yes,
And
yes.
then the problems come and they try to manage. But then when it gets closer to exam time, they realize that these problems are eating them up and they cannot study. Then they come in their numbers. It's very interesting. But
And with our chaplaincy and counseling in the senior high schools, one other that we experience so much is, oh, Reverend, I had a dream and it's torturing me. I can't study. Do you usually get this in the universities also? And when they come, what do you do?
I had a dream, may not we may not have a lot of that because in the university we have all the church groups. There are so many. When it comes to the University of Ghana, we have so many church groups. I'm told there are more than 100. So they all have their pastors that they could go to when it comes to some of these spiritual.
So they don't bring so much spiritual
A
issues
few
to
come.
a few.
A few come. But you see, at the center or with the directorate, as much as possible, we try to avoid handling things from the spiritual perspective. We don't put that first. But when they come and we realize that is where the need is, then as someone like a pastoral counselor, we get into that mode and handle the issue from the pastoral counseling perspective. Otherwise, we would rather deal with the psychosocial need itself, and we refer. You know, we have clinical psychologists, we have counseling psychologists, we have all. So if a case comes to me and I feel, oh, this should be addressed by a clinical psychologist, then I'll refer. Yeah, so that's how we work at the center.
Okay. You are still live on the La TV. This is the La TV live on Facebook and also on YouTube. We have in the studios now the Reverend Dr. Mrs. Bridget Ben Nyman. We are having a conversation around counseling and all the other places that she serves in several other positions. And Mama, apart from students, staff, and their dependents, do you also serve people who are in the community? Supposing they come to you for counseling, do you serve them too? Is it open to them?
Yes, we take that as our social, what would you call it, social responsibility. Yes, so it's open. People walk in from outside. People would call and find out whether they can come, and then we ask them to come. So yes, we serve people who are not students or members of the university community. There are times also when organizations will refer their staff to us. Sometimes the court also refers people to us, where maybe people are going through divorce and they think that they need some counseling. And so on many occasions, the courts also refer people who are going through divorce to us for counseling.
All right. These services that you render, okay, maybe to students and staff and dependents may be free, but those who come from outside, do you charge them?
Yeah, no, we don't. I would say we don't. We don't charge, but we are now considering the need to do that because
Why?
of the way our services are extending. We need money, and the university needs money. So we are now being given the permission to raise some funds, some kind of internal funds generation, generated funds. Yes, we are being encouraged to do that. So we are coming up with some strategies to do that. For people who come from outside, what we are saying is we have a very small fee that they will pay once they come, and then we give them all the services they need. But once in a while, we organize seminars for groups from outside. On 2 occasions, we organized training for what do you call them, basic school teachers or child educators, and many of them came from churches, even from our OP churches in Accra. Yeah, so with that kind of training, we had to charge a fee for the logistics, and then had something very yes. We needed the money to be able to offer the training and give them what they need.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
So if someone is watching us now, of course, your center, you are full of professionals, and he wants maybe marriage counseling or premarital counseling. Can they walk into your office and get that service?
Yes.
They can.
Yes. Yes. We offer that service.
All right. And you have been given permission to charge. So if they are coming tomorrow, should they prepare to pay something?
We are yet to determine the exact cost.
Yes.
But in the near future, that would happen.
Okay.
It wouldn't be too much.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
it will be affordable, moderate.
Yes,
all right. So
yes.
you can prepare to have your marriage counseling or marital counseling or premarital counseling at the Careers and Counseling Directorate of the University of Ghana. Now, your careers aspect of the counseling, you help students maybe as to the career they want to aspire to and all the rest. What about students who are in the senior high schools now about to enter the university system? How do you help them as a center?
Yes. So first of all, through social media and all that, we are able to advertise the opportunities for them to also walk in. They can walk in and then receive guidance as to how to apply to enter the university, what courses to choose. So we offer that. But on the other hand, we collaborate with the admissions office of the university and visit schools. There are some schools in the central region, Greater Accra region, Eastern region, even in the Ashanti region. We have not gone to Volta yet, but we visit the schools and meet students, help them to know how to go through the admissions process and or application process, and also tell them about what to bear in mind when choosing their courses. Yeah, so we provide those kinds of
Okay.
that kind of guidance.
Like you said, you've not
Yes.
been to the Volta region yet,
Yeah.
but if a school in the Volta region now
Yeah.
wants you to come and they invite you, would you be ready to move?
Yes, we can work that out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
All right.
possibility.
All right.
We are happy to do that.
Thank you. Happening now on the grounds, council has gone, General Assembly Executive Council has gone into conclave. So Reverend Amuzu is leading the prayers. When they return, when they return, we'll have the elections now. The election for the presidential executive will be held immediately after that. So we'll be taking the feed when the election begins, but not now. We are still here with the Reverend Dr. Mrs. Bridget Ben Nyman. Mama, you are the chaplain for the campus ministry of the Meridian Presbytery. What do you do as chaplain?
Okay, so mainly what I do as chaplain is to provide leadership and guidance.
Okay.
And also to serve as a minister
Okay.
to the students.
Okay.
For the Meridian Campus Ministry, the main group is the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, Ghana, Legon.
Okay.
University of Ghana. That's the biggest group.
All right.
And actually, this group has already been recognized as a congregation.
Yes.
It used to be one of the congregations of the Medina district, but now it has been separated from the Medina district so that it will be part of campus ministry. The other group is UPSA, University of Professional Studies, and then Accra College of Education. They are still struggling. We tried, we were doing better before COVID, but after COVID, because of the academic programs that we had to go through, some students had to be at home while others were on campus, and all those things somehow affected us when it comes to UPSA and Accra College of Education. But we are still together, and we have our WhatsApp platforms and all that, and we are hoping that in the near future they will also be well established. But Meridian Campus Ministry is to bring together these three institutions. Okay, so I serve as their pastor, and all the roles that a pastor will play, I play. But then, because these are young people with a lot of ideas, a lot of energy, we give them the free space to, share their thoughts and create a lot of things, generate, programs, and I offer guidance. One thing I do is to get ministers in the Meridian Presbytery and the West Volta Presbytery to come on Sundays as preachers, so that it gives them the opportunity to also engage with other ministers of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, these are youth.
Yes.
There's the youthful exuberance, like they say. I don't know if this is the right word to use, but are they compliant? Do they comply with most of the things you tell them all before you realize they are off gear doing their own things?
Thankfully, they are very compliant because we have a system, and before everything is approved and everything is rolled out, we all agree. Yeah, so we have that system. I visit them at the executive meetings and all that. So whatever decisions are taken would definitely come to my notice. We'll discuss. I give them the free space to explain why they want to do this, and we all come to a consensus on things that they do. Even when they are going to write letters that will go outside the church, outside the campus ministry, we will ensure that I see it or it's copied to me. Those are the mechanisms we've put in place as checks and balances to ensure that we are all working as one team.
That's great. That's great. Now, I served in the Nkonya district, and one of the congregations in the Nkonya district, Abologa, was actually established through the evangelism that Epsu Legon had when they came to Ablogan, and I believe several other congregations for that matter. Do you think the church should allow or continue or encourage EPSUs or all campuses to continue to do more than they are doing so as to establish more congregations across the country?
I think they should be encouraged, and actually they should be supported financially. These students don't work, they don't have money. Currently, as we speak, the FCU Legon and some of the members from the other institutions are at KG.
Oh, okay. Crash as we speak.
KG.
Wow.
Yes, they
Okay.
were there. They went there on Monday, and they will be returning on Monday, next Monday. So they are there for evangelism, and the idea is to be able to establish a congregation or strengthen, a congregation that is not going well, probably. Yeah, so they should be encouraged and also should be supported. The way we raise money for this is not easy. We mostly have to fall on alumni, people who have passed through the system, and then they contribute monies to support the budget for such programs. But if we could get currently at FC Legon, we don't have any support from outside, and we have to pay, for even the place we hold our services. We worship in the Sabbath chapel, and we have to pay 400 Ghana cedis every Sunday to hold a 2-hour service. It's not easy.
And how much do you contribute that church? Okay.
It's not easy.
Okay.
We don't even contribute that much to the church. So it has to be support from a lot of people.
Okay.
If you are chaplain there, you have to be ready to sacrifice a lot, to keep things going.
Okay.
And so I'll use this opportunity to actually call on members of our church. In any way you can support campus ministry, it will be very much appreciated.
All right.
We have a very old bus.
Okay.
The bus is very old.
All right.
This bus was able to go to KG,
Okay.
but anytime it makes a trip and comes back, it has to go to the mechanic.
Yeah.
And then it drains us so much.
Okay. So we are talking to you, individuals and congregations. We are talking to you wherever you are. Please support our campus ministries, especially EPSU and other campuses and all campuses across the country to be able to help us in this regard. Final question to you, Mama. This issue about youth migrating to other churches when they get to the universities, is it a myth or reality?
I think part of it is a reality. Because I think that what happens is when they leave the basic schools and get to the secondary schools, if they get to a school where there isn't an EP minister as a chaplain, then they lose touch. They don't have that connection with the EP church anymore. And so from there they end up in the university. And then any church that attracts them, they go. So I think that we should, as much as possible, that level where they will be in secondary school, we should find ways of having a lot of EP chaplains in our institutions.
Okay. So we should concentrate also on the senior high schools, not only the universities.
Yes, because that is where they live.
All right, before they come to. All right.
If we have that in place, it will help a lot. And that means that by the time they get to the university, they already know that they are going to EPSU in the university.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for coming, Mama. Please, your final words before you take leave of us. Your final words to our viewers.
I would like to say that the EP Church is a great church. Okay, so the EP Church is a very great church. If you are a member of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, you are blessed. What is important is always to think about what we can also contribute towards the growth of the church, and not always what we can gain from the church. I want to encourage our young people, when you get out of the tertiary institutions, don't leave the church. After EPSU, go back to the mother churches and play your roles as members of the church to encourage other young people to also follow. So thank you so much for everything.
All right. Thank you very much, Mama, for coming. God bless you so much. Another time we'll talk about the reflection which we were not about to talk about today. Thank you for coming. Please wait. We'll take a short break, just 30 seconds, then we'll continue with our programs for today. Stay tuned.
For avoidance of doubt, these are the qualifications. And it is captured under Article 21(2) of the EPCG Constitution 2010 revised 2020 revision. Now, a candidate for the post of presbyter executive shall, this one, A, be a consecrated presbyter of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church of Church Ghana, be not less than 10 years standing as such, be of not less than 45 years and not more than 64 years of age at the date of the election. D, hold or possess at least a second university degree or its equivalent from an institution recognized by the National Accreditation Board of Ghana. E, possess the qualities prescribed in 1 Timothy 3:2-7 and Titus 1:5-9, that is leadership, about leadership. So I will invite Presbyter Ernest Wolanyo Kosi Besemete to address the House. You are given 5 minutes. I'll be looking at the time. At exactly 5 minutes, you have 5 points to address. At exactly 5 minutes, I'll stop you.
This distinguished moderator of the General Assembly, permit me to stand on the existing protocol already established. My name is Presbyter Ernest Besemete. I am 52 years old, a presbyter, a consecrated presbyter of the EP Church, and of 15 years standing as such. I hold a second degree in marketing and its equivalent also in law. I am married with 3 children. About leadership, I am the current president of the Meridian Presbyters Union. I'm also the current president of the District Presbyters Union at North Legon. I was the former president of the local Presbyters Union at Ashoman Estate. I was the former committee chair of the building committee for 15 years. I was also the first men's fellowship chairman at EP Church, Ashoman Estate. Concerning this job, I stand before you as one of the nominees for the presbyter executive position. The functions of the presbyter executive position are spelled out in Article 21, Clause 6, as was already said, and it includes assisting the moderator and the clerk of the General Assembly in the discharge of their duties. This I intend to do with the experience and the God-given talents given to me. I am a child evangelist and also a youth leader. I intend to assist the moderator and the clerk in the promotion of the work and life of the church. This I will do through the structures that have been laid, which is the children ministry, the youth ministry, the men ministry desk, and then the women ministry desk. I intend to serve in my capacity as the representative of the laity, if given me the opportunity. This I intend to do by forming a professional organization, bringing all professionals on board in the EP Church. And I intend to also, by the permission of the standing committee, establish Friends of PE Fund, which we would use to support the budget deficit, such as Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Presbyter Ernest Wolanyo Kosik Besemete. I'll call upon Presbyter Dr. Mrs. Praise Salome Otami Abutiate to address us.
Moderator Chair, my name is Salome, Presbyter Dr. Mrs. Salome Praise Otami Abutiate. I hail from Avatime Biakba. My education. I had my elementary education at Biakba and had my College of Education at Adanfor. We were the women pioneers. Second degree at Tufts University, Medford, USA. Doctor of Philosophy at Uvascular University, Finland, and University of Education, Winnipeg. In 2013, I was elected as a council member, General Assembly, Executive Council member for West Volta Presbytery. And in 2014, I was also elected as a board member for Trinity Theological Seminary. Again, I was also elected as examination committee member also for Trinity Theological College. I was concentrated on the 4th of March 2001. So I'm 23 years old as a presbyter. I was born on the 3rd of November 1962. So on the 3rd of November, I'll be 62 years. For my love and commitment for Evangelical Presbyterian Church, I've done a lot of things. I'll mention just a few because time will not permit me. We have a preaching post at Nkrandokunu. I bought roofing sheets for the preaching post to be roofed where they have their worship as I speak.
Thank you very much, Presbyter Dr. Mrs. Abutiate. As I said earlier on, campaign has ended. This is a very solemn activity that we are going through. And everybody must go into he or himself and not to be campaigning, shouting, or doing any other thing. As I said, we are just doing this as a material thing. The spirit behind is God Almighty. So that is why we have already committed this election to the hands of God. So campaign has ended. Nobody should engage in any form of campaign in the hall. It is not allowed. Thank you very much. Now, the election is going to be like this. I have the list of the commissioners and the corresponding members. I am going to call you one by one. If you are coming here, we all have our name tags. We are going to give you a ballot paper. When your name is mentioned, make sure that that name tallies with what is on your name tag. We are doing this to avoid impersonation. We don't know each other very well. If we mention sorry. So if I mention your name and you are coming, the name that is mentioned, let it tally with the name tag that you are wearing. We have our ballot papers with the two candidates embossed on them. Their photographs are there. All that you are supposed to do, there is a box provided against their names. Just tick. You are not writing anything against it. You are not expected or avoid writing their names. Just tick the box. We have done the balloting. Presbyter Besamete is number 1 on the ballot paper. Mrs. Abutiate is the second. So you will see their faces over there. Whoever you want to vote for, we are going to leave a pen on the table. Take the pen, just stick, and walk away. I thank you very much for your cooperation. And now, the follow. If the following people are in the hall, are in the chapel, they should come up and assist me as my electoral assistant. Presbyter Mauli Doche, EPCG Tamale Kuko Congregation. Presbyter Mauli Doche. Then Miss Jennifer Atakuma, EPCG Kuko Congregation, Tamale. You're welcome. Now, the candidates are allowed to give one person each to observe the proceedings for them. They are just to observe, especially the counting, the sorting, and the counting. But they can also be around. We'll give them a chair somewhere to sit and be observing the proceedings. We one is okay. One is okay. One is okay. We have to put it on something. The table. This is our transparent box. There is nothing in it. I hope everybody has seen it. Okay. No, it's okay. We have our ballot papers in this envelope. The ballot papers were counted this morning in the presence of the representatives of the candidates. And it has been sealed and signed across by their reps and the electoral commissioner. So I'm showing it to you before I open. These are the ballot papers. They are all in this envelope. Thank you very much. There. Oh, okay. Presbyter. No. President Gagatu, if you are in the hall, he is coming to represent Dr. Mrs. Abutiate. Okay, Cyril, you are also here. So you are representing Presbyter Ernest Besamete. You can get a seat, get one of those seats, and you can sit around here. Oh, okay, okay. Now, I want you to look at the envelope. Oh, okay. I want you to look at the envelopes and confirm that this is what. Okay. I've been advised that we change the position of the table. I think so. Okay. They cannot seeing it. Okay. 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 Center. Now when I give you the ballot paper, this is a secret vote. So you have to make sure that nobody sees what you are doing. But there is a table here. You can, of course, we are going to call you one by one. So you get to the table, you mark, and then drop it. Yes. Yeah. I will be calling the names. For what? Okay. No.
They come right behind the pulpit.
No, yeah, it's okay. They will face here. They will face here. Okay, this is the position. We issue you the ballot paper. You mark it there, then you come and drop it. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. There is only one electoral commissioner in this hall. All the noise you are making only causes confusion. Please, let him do his work. He has predetermined how he wants to arrange his thing. If he sees that it's not working, he can change his mind. You taking a thing, you can cover it with your hand and take and go and drop it. We don't have to go to some corner navigating through where?
Please. When you get here, just turn this way. You can give way. Give way. Okay. Front table, front seat. Ya me be ma dine mi. Exema. Emi ano fili. I think you can give the agents to sit here. Then they will sit here. They will sit here. So please, sit here. Please, I'm about to open the envelope.
Check the
Yeah. When I mention, you issue the ballot.
check the
They have done it. And you check the tag whether it corresponds. Oh, it doesn't matter. Please, we are about to start. Presbyter Maoli Doche will issue the ballot paper to you when your name is mentioned. Jennifer will check your name tag to see whether it corresponds with the name that we have mentioned. I have a vote under the Constitution, but I'm abstaining as the Electoral Commissioner. So I will start mentioning the names from the moderator, Right Reverend Dr. Lieutenant Colonel BDK Agbeko, moderator of the General Assembly. Check. Give it to him. Reverend Dr. LK Janku, Clerk, General Assembly. Presbyter Charles Sichope Sechi, current Presbyter Executive. Mr. Dick Anyadi, member, Board of Trustees. Presbyter Joy D.S. Amegbe, member, Board of Trustees. Reverend S.K. Tete, Director, Administration. Reverend E. Atu, Director, PESR. Reverend Daniel Tovino, Director, Finance. Mr. Emmanuel Fianco Asamani, Director, Audit. Director, Audit. Okay. Presbyter Ruben Agbenu, Director, Music. Reverend Alex Ousu, Director, Mission and Evangelism. Reverend Courage Banka, Youth Program Officer. Reverend Mrs. E.M.Y. Nibo Wasi, Women Program Officer. Reverend Adam Jajata, Children Program Officer. Reverend Dr. F.Y. Amamaglo, Principal, EP Theological Seminary. Reverend Professor Professor Chachu Adogla Besa, Acting President, EP University. Reverend Professor Fred Mautia Mebenko, President, Pastors Association. Mrs. Bernice Osiakwa, President, Pastor Spouse Association. Catechist S.M.Y. Anku, Representative. President, Catechist and Evangelism Union. Catechist Vivian Konedo, Representative, Catechist and Evangelism Union. Presbyter Anthony Achu, President, Presbyters Union. Sorry, Presbyter Dr. Achu. Dr. Engineer Achu. Mrs. Marian Adre, President, Women's General Manager, EPCG Schools. Mrs. Marian Adre. Presbyter Foster Agoche, President, Men's Fellowship. Presbyter Samuel Sashi, President, Children Ministry Teachers. Sashi is not here.
Amen.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome again to the Lati TV. We are live on Facebook and also on YouTube. This is still the live coverage of the 11th General Assembly of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, being hosted by the Upper Northern Presbytery of the Church, and we are here at Tamale, the Northern Regional Capital of Ghana. Ongoing now at the General Assembly ground, the voting for Presbyter Executive of the General Assembly, the next, like I said yesterday, 31st December 2024, the tenure of office of the current Presbyter Executive, Presbyter Charles Jobesachi, expires, and we need some other person to step into his shoes when he steps down or when his tenure expires. Two people are up for election, and delegates and corresponding members at the General Assembly are voting for them as we speak. I am your host, the Reverend DNA Afram. Now, on the 21st of August, 24 years ago, 2020, I believe, we had a similar program at Ho, the General Assembly. That should be the 9th General Assembly of the EP Church Ghana. The moderator of the General Assembly was voted for. So 2 days ago was exactly 4 years of the election of the moderator, the current moderator of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, Right Reverend Dr. Lieutenant Colonel Bliss Divine Kofi Agbeko. I want to speak to him and ask him how the feeling was like and how the feeling is today. So he's here with us in the studio. Papa Moderator, you are welcome to the La TV.
Thank you very much.
Do you still remember how the feeling was that day, the very day when you were voted as moderator of the General Assembly?
Yeah, it was one with nostalgia. It was as if it's a dream, as if it's a reality. I don't really know. It was one with wonder.
And was the office anything you had envisaged when you got into office as moderator? What you thought of the office, was that the reality when you got in there?
Well, wonderfully, I had the opportunity to act as moderator of the General Assembly to assist my predecessor when he wasn't well. So I have some idea about how the office runs, the difficulties, the runabout. I mean, going here and there, long meetings, responding to various issues of the church. And you are always thinking about the church. So when I got in, I knew that, I'm now in to face the challenge.
Okay. So in your 4 years, have there been any disappointments?
Disappointment come when your expectations are not met.
Exactly.
But because I have some idea about what to expect, so I was just fitting in,
fitting in and making sure I try to think ahead, think ahead. So watching carefully what is coming up and what next step to take. And so when they come, I see what somebody may call a challenge as an opportunity to bring to bear what is possible.
So, what is your assessment of the last 4 years in office?
It has been full of activities. There were challenges, but I said before that I see challenges as opportunities. So when they come, I know that there is something that must be done to ride on the back of that to achieve what you want to achieve. And so it's one with a lot of activities, pressure here and there. Many people want you to satisfy their expectation. But then you must also remain resolute and focus on what you consider to be needful from the view of God.
Yesterday, somebody told me that when you came to office, your hair was dark, but now he has observed that your hair is gray. Does that mean the office is so difficult and makes your hair gray?
Well. I was getting gray somehow,
Okay.
but not very visible.
Okay.
Until I got to the office,
Yeah.
and then the graying became so sudden, or it got speed up. And what there's pressure, people say gray hair is good. It's nature's own anointing on you, sign of wisdom. But it is also some kind of pressure and stress. Yes.
So that stress and the pressure contributes to graying of the hair, so to say.
Maybe.
Also, do you get any time for yourself? Because with all the things that are going about today, you are here tomorrow. Do you get time for yourself as a person?
Not that much, but I try to use Mondays as my Sabbath day. So after doing all that should be done through the week, through the weekend, and after Sunday, Mondays I stay home and don't do anything except to reflect, pray, and trust God for the future.
Yeah. Thank you very much. If you are live on the La TV, we have the moderator of the General Assembly. He has 2 more years to go. That is what it means, because 4 years ago he was elected as the moderator of the General Assembly of the EP Church. Also, wonder your 10 years so far. In fact, there has been a lot of activities, like you said, a lot of programs. Paramount amongst them is the 175th anniversary celebration. How does it make you feel that it was during your tenure that this was celebrated?
Yes. I feel good about it, and I thank God for making it possible in my time. I realized that it could have been postponed if things were left to be done at a time when everything seems good for the church. But I came in at a time that the church was in crisis. But then I didn't give up hope. Having been a military officer before, I know what it is to work under pressure and to press on until victory is achieved. And so, looking at it, that was the year it must be celebrated by date. And so I purposed myself that there was no way we're going to postpone it for any reason. So we did it, breaking it into phases, and it became an excitement.
Yes, it really was an excitement. Yes. It was a well-celebrated one, which will be talked about for centuries to come. Let me pick on a few of the activities or things that came with the anniversary celebration. The first is the Bible project. Yes. As we speak, we still get a lot of questions that members ask. Do we really need a customized Bible? Yes. Papa Moderator, I want you to set the record straight. Why do we need a customized Bible?
We very much need a customized Bible. It's not only about the writings we have as the Bible. We need something that will continuously, be authentic in your home or in your office, calling for remembrance of the celebration. Most of the time we go to places and souvenirs are given, but that souvenir ends with the day. But this Bible, you'll be going to it to read, and it reminds you of who we are, what we are hoping for, the story of the church, those who have led the church before, and then all those things makes it the customized Bible with the logo of the EP Church, which unites us or put us together in there. And we are not the first church in the world to have a customized Bible. And the volume at which we are presenting it makes it very ornamental or kind of thing. Church like Methodist Church, they did it before. There is some one-man church in Kumasi which has also done it to mark their anniversary. And we are doing it at a higher level in terms of the volume and the quality we want to add to it. We as church, EP Church, should be very proud of it. But it's unfortunate that some also think it's not necessary. But they got it wrong. It is necessary. It becomes an icon or some holy something in your heart. The way we revere, Bible. And that is with a special addition. So its reverence will be on its own class. And I think it's necessary.
All
so
right.
we've not given up hope. We'll be producing it a one-time production for all who have paid for it and for all the congregations that somebody has paid for. Everyone will receive. But then that will be it.
So when we were having this conversation with some other person in the morning, one of the comments that came from one of our viewers was, when would our Bibles come? Just this morning.
Yes. The Bibles will certainly come. It will come earlier than Jesus' second coming.
Amen.
Yes. The fact is that we would have gotten them by now, but the exchange rate beat our collection. The sudden, rocketing of the dollar, whereby you count many CDs. Now you count 15 CDs before you get $1. The amount of money we were having, we thought was huge. But when the dollar matter came, it slashes down to 1/15.
Wow.
So to 1/15. It means we need to work hard more to get it into the threshold where we need about $128,000 to produce. Now, we have a little bit over $33,000. It's because when the dollar affected the CD exchange, we have to quickly act wise. Whenever we get the CDs, we change into dollars. And so right now, if you multiply what we have in dollars times 15, it can tell you where we have gotten to, but only that the value of our CD is nothing to write home about. We have CD volumes also there, which we will soon be changing after this occasion, that to dollars.
Okay.
When we get it,
then we'll be able to produce. So the Bibles will certainly come. That is
earlier than Jesus' second.
Earlier than Jesus' second coming. Thank you very much, Baba Moderator. We are here with the moderator. In fact, if you have any questions for him, please put it in the comment box. We are just having a very short conversation because he has just voted and we managed, and he graciously agreed to come up with us for this discussion. So we will not be taking too much of his time. Moderator, let's talk about the Primer Water. That's one of your initiatives, a very good one. How is Primer Water doing so far?
From my perspective, knowing where we have come from, I think we are doing well. We only need to expand our scope, reach further than we are doing, and that has to do with transportation and larger staff who are into it. And we have to use other means whereby others can register to be distributors, and they will cut it at a reasonable cost so that they can also make profit and take it wherever it is. And water being heavy, we cannot take it too far away without increasing costs. But our community likes things at low cost. And so we are doing it so that we don't loss. We don't run a loss. We should break even, get it done. The water is being accepted very well in the sense that people now move their vehicles or send motor riders to come and buy the water for them. Although where they are located, there are various water depots over there of other brands. but they come after hours, shows that the quality is top notch.
All right. And you said in your address, the welcome address to the 11th General Assembly, you said we have to encourage, if I don't know if I'm using the right word you use, the use of primary water in all our meetings such as this one. How can we enforce this, especially within the catchment areas? Like you said, water is very heavy. We can't transport maybe from Chito to Upper Northern Pressure. But the catchment areas where we easily can get to, how do we enforce this?
Yes, here loyalty counts. Every church member, we must accept our own first, knowing the quality, and then we attract others in. We want the homes of church members, the institutions of the church, that are schools and other areas of trade business, should be patronizing it more often than they are doing. Schools are like Maoli School, to take more because of their numbers. Yes, and if it were to be some other religious, what do you call it, built institutions, no water will be allowed there. But for us, we open door, all other things come there. We expect Mauli, Mauko, helps to step up even that alone will do a lot. Ameko EP College of Education should also take it in the quantities, but being fair people that we are, we allow other people also to make their living by bringing theirs. But some institutions I know, which I wouldn't want to mention now, you cannot take your product there if you don't belong to their.
Can't we get there to the point where we have to stop the others?
The church is very evangelistic. And so because we want to open our doors for people to understand our love and care for people, we cannot starve others, by saying, don't bring yours, that you have to take away. But then our own people who are also in charge and responsible should encourage bringing in more of ours. Yes, and that's what we are talking about. Everybody must eat, okay? But then get more of what is coming from your farm. Eat what you grow and grow what you eat. So if we are producing water, let's use it more.
Thank you very much, Papa Moderator. People are also asking, when are the bottled water coming?
Yes, all these things come at a cost. We need about not less than $50,000, actually $58,000, to get the kind of equipment we want that will not need human interference. We want to be, the best in terms of producing without any human interference. So getting that amount, you multiply the 58,000 by 15 cities, you can tell about the amount we need. Though we are saving towards that, and want to use other means by which we got the money to start the water factory. That is through the covenant services. Now, if our members, our congregation, will be very sincere and committed, when we do the next celebration of the covenant service, they should bring the 100% collection towards that. Then we can quickly achieve this in good time. I want it done before I leave office.
Amen. I pray it happens before you leave, because a lot of people are still waiting so anxiously for the bottled water. That is a primer bottled water. Papa Moderator, let's talk about maybe the NP. The NP. What is the brain behind the NP?
Yes, when we came to office, we realized that the method or way by which the church collects or receives money wasn't helping. It was the assessment time where they give assessment to people, and some will do it sincerely, some too will cut corners. And we think that they are so used to that, and something new and better must be brought in. And so, discussing with the finance director and my finance team what we can do, we studied what other denominations are doing. So we studied our sister denominations, see what they are doing. That's okay. We can improve on what they are doing and also get it done. And so what we are doing, we are not the first, but we have made ours better than theirs. And so we came by the Nyanywe Pay, which is the declaration and the banking. So whatever, this time we don't give assessment to any congregation. We say whatever you realize from worship, just declare it and let us know how much you collected. So we know how much the EP Church gathers every worship time. And then the next step will be banking. So you bank it. Then when this is done, a software has been put in place who is able to distribute this amount to the appropriate recipients. For example, the local congregation from which some amount is generated takes 45%. Then 10% goes to the district it belongs to. Or if it is a parish, then it adds 10% to its collection to make it 55. Excuse me. Then 7% to the presbytery they belong to. Then 24.5% for payment of salaries of the agents all over. And then 13.5% for the administrative running of the church. And that is the only bit that comes to the headquarters. I want this clearly understood by anybody listening to this voice that out of the 100%, only 13.5 comes to the headquarters for the running costs, the administration of the church. 24.5 goes for payment of statutory, the taxes, the social security, or whatever that state orders that we should pay, plus your salary. Then there's 7% for the presbytery for its administrative use, 10% to the district, and 45% to the local church. It is not the case that when all these are collected, the local congregation keeps 45, and then the 55 or so is sent to headquarters. That is not true, and never true.
So you heard the moderator right there. So the whole 55 does not count to headquarters. Please be informed. So because I hear a lot of people saying, please. So that is not correct. Your district minister would be in a better position also to explain that to you. So from the implementation of the MP up until this time, what percentage would you place the compliance at?
Oh, right now we are about 50%.
Okay.
We are about 50%, taking into consideration the number of congregations we have, in Ghana, and if about 477 congregations are declaring, it means about 50% because we are close to 900 congregations. We are close to that. Now, this is only the declaration. Now, about 40% are now doing the banking. Okay, so assume all this do the banking, then money will be at the appropriate places to run the church more easily, and so things are getting better. And
So
it's doing good.
So the 50% compliance, has it changed anything about the finances of the church? Has it made any impacts at all?
Oh yes. You see, gone are the days when sometimes for 6 months, 4 months, salaries are not paid. Okay, for example, to the headquarters staff, and you know what that can result to all kind of dishonest practices. But now we have tried very much to come up to date, that by the end of every month, within the first week of the next month, we are paying the last month's kind of thing. Yeah, so that workers who may also want to seek some financial support from the banks can trust the regularity of payment and then offer assistance. But gone were the days, if you are a church pastor, you go to the bank that you want to take money, they say your salary, they find that salary sometimes 6 months you are not paid. No bank will entertain you. So we want to break that kind of thing and set the pace good for all of us so that we are respected and treated well.
So, moderator, what do you tell our viewers, church members who are watching us, as far as payment or using the MP system is concerned? What do you want to tell them?
The MP, by God's grace, is showing up as God's answer to our prayers. It's doing good. It will still do better. And I am certain that by the time we leave office, and where about 90% or more, or 100%, by our estimation, by this time next year, the entire EP Church congregation should be doing the banking beside declaration. So if that is it, then we'll have a lot of resource by which we can answer some of the financial questions of the church. Yes.
So there you have it. If you belong to any congregation, you are leading any congregation, either a catechist or a pastor, and you are watching us, please let's all adhere to the MP payment policy so that the church will get out of where we find ourselves. And of course, things are getting better, and by God's grace, they would soon get better, or we'll get to the best. Papa Moderator, the biggest project outlined for the 175th anniversary celebration is the Ultramodern Youth Resource Center, if I'm right, and it is situated at the headquarters, a portion of the headquarters. One criticism that we have received so far is why the premises of the headquarters? It looks like the whole place is choked already. Please clear the doubt.
Yes, it's not that the headquarters area is choked. You know, people see with different mindset in eye. But if you are very artistic, you understand landscaping and what it is, there is space. Okay, now, what we are trying to do over there is to complement Kekeli Hotel so that this ultramodern conference center being built also has accommodation and office facilities. It has store facility, and then we have the auditorium, facilities to carry as much as 500 people at a time, or lesser numbers. We can put them at the appropriate places to generate fund. Also to make Kekeli Hotel a one-stop shop.
Okay.
Because people, as at now, people come, and because of the competitive price of the rooms, people can want to occupy there. But they get up the next morning, they go to other hotels to use their conference facilities.
Okay. So they come and sleep here, but they move. Okay. Okay.
So we want to make it a one-stop shop. When if you come in to sleep here, spend all the monies you have also here.
You have your conferences also
you
here.
have your conferences. You want store to buy, you buy from there. You want office to rent, space to rent, you can get it from there. So there is space, there is parking lot. But those who criticize the thing were thinking we should go to a virgin place, a new land.
They have mentioned places like Akwepe. Bremen Village.
Or like Homenu.
Yes,
or
yes,
kind of
yes.
But what they have not thought of is that when you go to a virgin place to do this thing, one, attracting customers there is a problem. You have to construct road over there. Road construction alone can put up several buildings. It's very expensive. Drawing water to the place, getting electricity to the place, doing landscaping of the place to make it beautiful and acceptable. They never thought of that. They are just looking at a very microcosm of the whole thing. But if you look at the thing in its entirety, you find that it is wiser to put it here where there is already road, so there will be no road construction. There is electricity, so you don't have to draw that. There is water, you don't have to draw that. There is medical service close by, so one in there you are safe. Day or night, there is medical service at the headquarters over there, to take care of you, and then you have easy access to go to the town. Although our place there is very quiet, but then it's just a small walking distance, about 500 meters. You are there to take a vehicle. So you have your car. So when we consider all this, we are thinking ahead of time and some consideration. I see also already into the future that the EP Church headquarters will not remain where it is forever.
Amen.
We also have to move to the capital city like all other churches except us, who are distance 4 hours drive away. And now we have to attend ecumenical meetings, and it's only the EP Church minister who have to travel 4 hours on end to attend a meeting and come back. Look at the cost, look at the risk, look at the fatigue. All these things, they don't think about that. So eventually, because the time of my office is only 6 years, it cannot do much. But we set the blueprint, set things in place that those who come after us should ensure that the headquarters is moved to Accra. Okay, so that the facility being used as headquarters now will become part of the hotel facility or whatever, the hospitality facility, and that means more gain to the EP Church, you know. So this is what we are thinking and this is what we are seeing, but then we just need to translate it into reality. And so where it is, there is no qualms about that. No, and General Assembly, Executive Council, we voted, we debated it, voted on it, and majority, over 80% say where it is where we have to do it.
There you have it, the explanation for that, why the Ultramodern Conference Center is located still within the four walls of the headquarters of the EP Church Ghana. Who you have your answer right there. Now, on the official opening day, in your welcome address, you said some things that some would consider ambitious and others debatable. I want to now ask you, one, let me take just a few because of the time. I know you are quite a busy man. Like I said, he just finished voting. We brought him up here. He would still have to go back. One is you are advocating that pastors who retire should be paid 70%, no, 50% of their last allowance or salary.
Last salary was in active
While
service.
before they retired, they should be paid that until they die. And for standing committee, 70%. What informed this?
Yes, you know, church is like we are doing, business in the open. There are several denominations and how they give care to their agents. I realized that the care EP Church gives to her agents is nothing good to write home about. After you take your own contribution, the Provident Fund that you made out of your own earnings, and they put 18% on it and give you, you are done with the church.
That's all.
Which is not good. So it's, how can you serve a church like EP Church and you end up destitute? If you don't have family and friends who will be remembering and be supporting you, then you are a loser. But then Jesus said, there's no one who will follow me to do kingdom business that will be left unrewarded in this earth and in the heaven to come. And so it must not only be when we reach heaven. We are living here.
Result.
We must get the result.
All right.
And so
all right.
50% is just minimal.
Okay.
The way to do it, we are yet to discuss it.
All right.
Yes,
All
there
right.
is a way to do it.
But definitely, I believe
That
the
is it.
NP policy, if it's complied with,
Yes.
we can achieve much with
Yes,
this.
yes.
Okay.
It can help.
All right.
But we must also deliberately work out
Okay.
how to get the pastor earning at least 50%
Okay.
of his last salary
Okay.
until
He goes on
exits
retirement.
to
All right.
the
All right.
heavenly kingdom.
Thank you very much. Voting has ended. They are doing the counting now, and in a jiffy, we would have to go back to the grounds where you take the counting and the declaration of the results. But before moderator leaves, Papa, what should we be expecting from you in the next 2 years?
In the next 2 years, I'm praying that I get support to do the conference center for the youth, for the youth of the church. It will benefit the youth office. And not that alone, we should get the bottling machine. Yes. And also clear all the debts of the church. Now we've done 60%.
Okay.
It's 40%
That's
more.
great.
So if 4 years are taking me 60%, then maybe 2 years, by God's grace, we'll be just
finish, we'll
getting
clear
there.
all. Amen.
Yeah, so that we can celebrate to the glory of God.
All right.
A free and vibrant church.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Your last words to our viewers before you take leave of us, moderator.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us continue to pray, trusting God that He bring the best our way to make the kingdom vibrant looking. I wish everyone good health, peace, and life.
Amen.
May the Lord answer our prayers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, moderator, for coming. God bless you so much. All right.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. I'm starting for number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, please, 60, 61, 62, 63. President Cyril Adajawa. Cyril. The first person, the number one on the ballot, Presbyter Ernest Besemete, got 58. Presbyter Mrs. Praise Otami Abutiate got 63. The unused ballots are 27. When you add all of them, you get exactly 148. 148, they are unused ballots. So You can add 63, 58, and 27. Those are the unused ballots. Now, at the end of the voting, these are the results. Presbyter Ernest Wolanyo Kwasi Besamete, 58 votes. Presbyter Dr. Mrs. Praise Salome Otami Abutiate, 63 votes. Okay, I've been corrected that the leftover ballots are not unused, but they are unissued. So I've been corrected. So the unissued ballots are 27. Please come forward. By the powers vested on me by the Constitution of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church 2010, revised 2020, as the Electoral Commissioner of the EP Church, I declare Presbyter Dr. Mrs. Otami Abutiate as the winner for the position of Presbyter Executive of General Assembly of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church. Madam, congratulations. Ernest, good luck next time. So, thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for your cooperation. God bless us all.
Is to call for acceptance speech, an extempo acceptance speech. So, Madam Presbyter Executive Elect, can you come over to give a word?
Moderator Chair, I'm very grateful to God Jehovah Almighty for this exercise. It is not Mrs. Abutiate who has won, but EPCG who has won. And we are going to work as a team. God has entrusted a lot of projects into my hands that I should collaborate with you and we'll move EPCG forward. We are going to progress in the name of Jesus. But I'm not going to do it alone because I have no power of my own. So we are collectively going to work. And in the next 3 years, we will applaud our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thank you. I accept the position and I'll work closely with the standing committee, seek directions, and accomplish assigned tasks accordingly. Thank you for the honor, the trust done me, and all the support given me. I'm extremely very grateful to you all. Thank you.
Welcome back to our studio, right here in the Kuku congregation of the EP Church Ghana. And we say congratulations to Presbyter Dr. Mrs. Salome Praise Otame Abutiate, who has just been elected the next Presbyter Executive of the General Assembly of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana. And I have in the studios now the outgoing Presbyter Executive of the General Assembly, Presbyter Charles Sijope Sachi. I want to ask him how the feeling is like. Papa, you are welcome, sir. All right. Yes. So I'm wondering what your feeling is like now that you know so well that somebody has been elected to take over from you. How is the feeling like?
Thank you very much. I'm so excited. So excited that I can only sing.
It wasn't the case. He was welcoming us. And he himself opted for it. So it wasn't the case that he wanted to send us to
Mayi mavana konta le dosio kata mewo esi no aguni meina ema bome bode me fe meina ema bome afima konyezile oh meina fema bome
Bode mefe meyina, meyina, hey mabome, afima konyezire. I feel so excited. I thank my God for sustaining me for all these years, and I've come to see the election of a new president executive to come after me. I thank God. I thank God. It's by His mercy, by His grace that I've reached here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, staying in office for this 6 years, staying in office for this 6 years, how would you rate the difficulty level? 1 being very easy, 10 being very difficult.
To tell you the truth, the race is not for the faint-hearted.
Okay.
It's been a very difficult, very challenging, very intimidating race that I've run. I had a lot of challenges from the beginning, right from the day that I was elected to office. And it has not been easy for me. All of you were here to see me being attacked by the devil, but because of the work of the Lord, the Lord has delivered me from the hands of the death. And I've been able to, when it happened that way, I became afraid. I told myself that I will not come to take the position again. So in the night, I said, oh, I will not. So the very day that I was going to write the letter,
To decline the position.
in office to decline the position.
Okay.
That was the day I had an encounter with the Lord Jesus Christ. And He appeared to me on the wall and called me, Charles, you say you will not be the Presbyter executive again? I said, yes, I will not be. So then why have I saved your life? Why have I saved your life? I said, formerly, I used to be very brilliant, but I have to be very agile. I can run. I'm an athlete. I can run from miles. I have the energy. I've been the person who does the masters of ceremony for occasions and then appeal for fun. And I could talk from morning 9 o'clock up to 3 p.m. without getting tired. But now this thing I have collapsed, and I got a massive stroke.
Okay.
And now I cannot talk, so I cannot come to that place because that place is a place to talk. Now in this position, I cannot talk. That's why I said no. He said, Charles, do you know Moses? Do you know Moses? I told Moses to go and deliver the Israelites from the hand of Pharaoh. And Moses told me he didn't know how to talk. And I'm sending you, you're also telling me you don't know how to talk. And I said, Mommy, phone, wake up and see this thing that I'm encountering. Before Mommy got up, the thing disappeared. Wow. That was the day I decided that, Mommy, then I'll go. I'll go to Hokodi.
Okay.
I'll go and declare myself. If they take me and install me, and 1 month, even if I die, I've served the Lord.
You've served the Lord because He has called you to do, and you have really done it. So if I get you,
that
so the
1
difficulty, should I place it at 10 or 9 or 8?
It's 9.
It's 9.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So working in the office is quite. But looking back 6 years behind when you came into office up to now, would you say you are satisfied with what you were able to achieve in office?
No, I'm not satisfied.
Okay.
I'm not satisfied because I have a lot of abilities that I could explore.
Okay.
But I've not been given the chance, honestly.
Okay.
I see my former place, judging from my former place, I work with an NGO in Kumasi called SEDEP, Center for the Development of People. And I was deputy executive. I entered the organization as a deputy executive director. Then I work under 3 executive directors. Then later, when that executive director left, the board said that they cannot go in for any other person. So they just asked me that if can I take the position. I said, fine, I can take it.
Okay.
So they gave it to me. So I've been with SEDEP for, I would say, 18 years.
Okay.
So for 12 or for 11 years, I was the deputy executive director. But for 6-7 years, I was the executive director, and I carried the organization to higher levels. Yes. So the way I develop proposals I get proposals through. 2016, I got about 5 proposals won with USID, and a lot of them.
Okay.
And the money that I saved for them, I used it to build a new office.
Okay.
So I moved the office from the rented premises to a new office. So that is where I got to. So finally, when I was leaving, my people were not happy. They said, "Oh, why do you say you are not resigning?" I said, "No, I already entered retirement age 2016.
Okay.
So I've retired. But you said I should be with you. So I was after retirement. I was with the organization for up to 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Before I'm opting up honorably. So I'm going to serve my Lord before they agree that I should go. So when I came, I thought I could do the same thing. I can move Ebra forward, but I didn't have the chance. As for Ebra's story, it's a different ball game. I don't want to
go into that today.
area.
All right, deal. Okay,
but
so
if
you feel like yes.
If I say I want one big proposal from, but that one too, I could not even finish the implementation before because my people had to pay some economical body fees to Siva, but they have not. So they, because of that, out of the 900, out of the 75,000 euros project that I won, it's only 10,300 that have been released. They have taken the rest. And even the project that I've developed following, which is a climate change project, and they selected it, and they called me to be available to answer questions from the DC. But because they said they have realized that we have not
paid the money we were supposed to pay,
that one has also
we didn't get to do that one
so
too.
if I had won those projects, I would have been happy.
Yes.
Because I've not had it.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. So you are here with the current or the outgoing. He's still current anyway because the other one has not taken office yet. The current president executive of the church, President Charles Jobesachi. And we are just gauging the mood now that he knows so well that somebody is going to take over from him because the elections have been done. And again, congratulations to Presbyter Dr. Otami Abutiati. Papa, before you go, what do you think should be the major task or focus of the new president executive who is coming to office?
You see, it's a teamwork. It's a teamwork. But after the teamwork, you as the president executive have been assigned special roles in the constitution. First, you should be the supervisor of EBRA. EBRA is an NGO, I would say an NGO, but faith-based organization. EBRA is Evangelical Presbyterian Relief and Development, Evangelical Presbyterian Development and Relief Agency. So with the skills that I had set up, you can develop it as it is. You can do a lot of money and even pay your venture support funds to the church. Yes, the church can rely on you seriously. But because I didn't have that opportunity to develop it, that's where I have. But if you can, even apart from doing your role as a supporting staff to the moderator of the General Assembly, you must support him. Yes. One major responsibility is to be the advisor to the moderator and the clerk. Unfortunately, on my side, ecclesiastically, the moderator is far advanced than me, so I give him all the respect. But chronologically, I am older than them, and so I'm expecting that he should give me that respect, and I also give him that respect. So if you are a president and you are timid, you are not able to call the moderator and say, my brother, lock him in his room, go to him in his office, as I do. I'll go to him alone and I'll lock the door. I say, monitor, this and this, I'm not happy. Why don't you do this with them? For him, he agrees. He listens to me. I went to when they elect the correct to. I went to his office one day. I said I was looking for him, so I turned and locked the door behind us. That nobody said.
That's interesting.
These four walls, the four walls around us. If they have ears, let them carry what I'm going to tell you outside. And whatever I had, I told him, and he accepted it. That for me, it's a success story for me. It's a success story for me.
So that should be the focus of the new president executive.
Focus, you should be able to do well, to fall fall in line with the moderator. Then also don't forget your role as a supervisor of EBDRA and also as the representative of the laity on the standing committee of the General Assembly. Yes, that's very, very, because once in a while you must report to the laity are your first point of call. And you must report to them. So at times that is where I fail because I've not been given the chance to work with the laity as it should be. And I don't know whether it's because of the name they've given to the position, the presbyter executive of the General Assembly. So people look at you as a presbyter, But when they know that you are the president of the laity, then you have all the people who are not clergy, you are representing them. So they see you as a laity representative. Then they can respect you.
Okay. All right. So this still is the president executive before he takes leave of us. 6 years on, I know a lot of people have supported you. What would be your words of appreciation and final words to these people? Please look into the camera, talk to them before we go.
What would I say? I owe so much to them. It's because of them. They elected me to this office. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to come. And they gave me so much support. They gave me support. When things are difficult for me, I see people coming to advise me. Actually, I had a very difficult moment at times, and when it happens that way, my people the people come over to advise me, and I take it. So I'm expecting that they will take my words of gratitude for helping me, for being with me, for being on the difficult journey with me, that I've been able to come. I've been able to go through and I'm reached here. I thank all of them for their support. And I wish them God's support and God's blessings.
So what is next, by the way? What will be next for you from here? What next?
I'm thinking that that's a very difficult question. But when I finish my work from the AP Church head office, I'll retire home.
Okay.
For the first year, I want to have some rest.
Okay. All right.
Because
very necessary.
Yes, I want to have some rest for some time for myself. Then I'll look at where consultancy, where people invite me to do some work for them, I'll do it. And if the church, if the presbyter executive, if the new presbyter executive wants to invite me in to advise him, I'm ready and available. Because God has protected me all these years, so I cannot forsake the EP Church like that.
That's it.
Because this is where I have my highest professional career has ended with the church.
All right.
Yes.
So, thank you very much, sir.
And
we wish you all the best.
And also, I was in the church here before I got admission to the university to come and do my PhD in leadership.
Okay.
But that time, I came to tell the standing committee about it, and then the monitor said, "Oh, see, you are still learning." I said, "Yes, I want to be," but he said, if you go now, the church cannot benefit from you before you'll be out of office. I said, okay. So I left it. So when Mrs. Jobo had hers at that age, I said, oh. Then I told myself that I'll see whether I can go over and do it, whether I can pursue. So that is also on the radar.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you so much.
Thank you so much.
We wish you all the best.
All the best. Thank you so much.
All right. So when we also need you, we'll bring you on board so that you help us in whatever we do.
So much.
We are eternally grateful for what you have done for the church also.
Yes.
God bless you.
And may God be with you.
All right.
I admire you when you are educating people.
Thank you,
it's
sir.
a God-given talent.
Thank you very much, sir.
Continue to explore.
Thank you, sir.
And all the best.
Thank you. I'm grateful, sir.
Thank
All right, Thank you. We are still here at the studios, and now we are taking the message from the messages committee. But let's break just for 10 seconds, and I'll come back to continue with the commentary.
I've been covered already.
Okay, thank you. Number 6.
How do you want to suggest, since it's a communique going out to the public, this year seems to be an election year, will it be appropriate?
Yes, you are still live on the La TV. We're on Facebook and also on YouTube. We've had 2 conversations just this past few minutes. The last we had just ended. The just ended interview was with the outgoing President Executive of the General Assembly of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, Presbyter Charles Sichope Sachi. He is leaving office on the 31st of December 2024. And in January, the new President Executive just elected will take office. The Presbyter Dr. Mrs. Praise Otami Abutiati. I spoke with her yesterday. She says Otami means beard. We're here. Congratulations again to her. Happening now on the floor is message or the report from Messages Committee. I wish I could get maybe a standing committee member to ask them what that means, but then let me still explain to you what the Messages Committee does. The Messages Committee is expected to come up with a communique if need be. So after General Assembly, we need to issue a communique out there. Do we need to send a letter to somebody? Do we need to send a circular around? Do we need to do something as in sending something out, declaring understanding on something, or discussing out of our discussions at General Assembly something that this country should do? So they come up with that. So the Messages Committee has just presented to General Assembly what they think. So places they think we send letters or send a communique or what we should do. And I heard from where I'm sitting also a suggestion that we should send a circular maybe to the political parties regarding the election, a peaceful election for that matter. We'll now go on to the grounds now where the moderator of General Assembly is closing formally the 11th General Assembly. We'll be right back after that to have an interview with the incoming or the elect President Executive.
Tolia. Wo Yesu Kristo mauvi wenye miapa vulela we homi le nuva aussi we na miaƒe ŋutihafa Mawu ƒe alẽvi kɔkɔe le miaƒe luʋɔ tso fu me ne nakpɔ mia nublanui enelia Gbɔgbɔ kɔkɔe akɔfala. Gbɔgbɔ kɔkɔe akɔfala wena nunye omi le Yesu Kristo pekuta yeni jo abosansi lenya wokatame wokwe nyenya pesi chope nyaku leji Having come to this point, time is about 17 minutes to 6. We thank God that He has brought us safely to this end of the 11th General Assembly, which was held at Tamale this year of our Lord 2024 under the theme, Care for God's Creation, the mission of the church. We thank God that He's made all things possible, and we commit the entire body, the General Assembly of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, into the safe care of God to keep you safe from danger and free from sin. In the name of God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
At this point, we will recess. The executive here will recess, and then we just come back for the communion. So remain standing as we recess.
Little monitors, please collect the tax from your members. Little monitors, please. Each of them have a tax. Take it home, please.